I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast.
It's not about personality matrices and charts. It's all about the bumps in your heart.
Ciao bellissimi, welcome or welcome back. If you're like me and you feel like time is flying by way too fast and you're wondering, wait, did I accidentally hit 2x speed on my own life? Then you've come to the right place. Because today we are going to be doing a major reset and lay the foundations for a spectacular redemption arc to give 2025 the unforgettable ending it deserves. So buckle up, grab a cozy drink and your favorite planner, and let's get started. Okay, let me give you the itinerary to this exciting journey. The first chapter is going to be about resetting our environment. Because I don't know about you, but for me, my environment really impacts my mood. And let's just say that this house right now does not spark joy. The first order of business will be tidying up my office, which currently looks like a tornado just blew through it. So we have to fix that. I also really love being surrounded by plants. So we're going to be introducing some leafy side characters to our world to turn our place into the kind of setting where you just know that something wonderful is about to happen. Chapter 2 is going to be all about tending to our bodies, because if we're sticking to the writing metaphor, then our bodies are like our typewriters, and we can't write an epic story if our typewriters are jammed or low on ink. Then we'll turn over the page to dreaming, to create our very own vision board. Think of a vision board as charting out our story's outline to help us clarify the major plot points we're hoping to hit this year and avoid getting sidetracked by intriguing side quests or that morally gray love interest with perfect hair. For this portion, we're going to go old school and actually create a physical vision board that will keep right by us in a place where we can see it daily. And then we'll get to chapter 4, our final chapter, where we make the plan to turn our dreams into reality. There's going to be no side quests or prolonged training montages here. We'll dive right in to set the stage for the kind of ending that is so satisfying that you'll want to read it over and over again and share it with your friends. I hope you're as excited as I am to get started. So let's turn over the page and head over to chapter 1.
I wanna wake up in another state. I don't wanna waste no more time living out someone else's life. I'm just gonna take back what's mine. My heart's been longing for life. Supposed to just wanna dance. So go ahead, like you were born to, just sing it now.
Stand by the California state line and watch the ocean's tide rise, looking into your eyes.
As you can see, it's not looking that pretty. So first, why is that there? I have no idea. This is supposed to be my filming chair, but yeah, right now I wouldn't really be able to film here. I need to fix that. I don't really know why. There's just a jumble of things over here. My desk, yeah, I'm not really sure what's happening. Why is there a TV over there? This will be our vision board pretty soon. And then here, we just have, per usual, just a bunch of things that shouldn't be here. Hey, Holly, you get up. Hey, good morning. Somebody wants some cuddles.
The house feels so much cozier now, and it actually got me super excited to move to the next part of the video, our bodies. I've had a little bit of a rough start to 2025 health-wise, and things got, shall we say, a little bit dystopian. But finally, I'm feeling so much better, and I'm feeling so grateful and excited to get to exercise again. So, the first step of our redemption arc is going to be to figure out just how much damage the couch potato era had on me. And for that, we're gonna be heading over to a company called Body Spec. So I just got back from Body Spec, and I'm not gonna lie, I am not looking forward to looking at this report. So I think what I'm gonna do is to procrastinate, but for a very good reason. Let me just tell you a little bit about Body Spec. I know I'm not sponsored by Body Spec, although honestly I do love them. So Body Spec, if you're watching this, please reach out. Seriously though, the reason I want to talk about them is that I've generally found them super helpful, and honestly, part of the reason that I'm so excited to have a YouTube channel is to get to share all the things that have had a positive impact on my life. I've actually been using Body Spec for almost 10 years, and I believe that I've done about 13 scans in total. So what I love about Body Spec is that it's a full body DEXA scan that gives you a ton of information about your health. It shows you exactly how much of your body is fat versus muscle versus bone. It tells you what percentage of the fat that you have in your body is visceral fat, which is a type of fat that can be detrimental to your health. It tells you about your bone density, which is very important, especially for women, because as we age, our bone density naturally decreases. So it's actually really good for us to stay on top of that. It gives you a ton of useful information, and you can even compare yourself to people in the same demographic to see where you land on different things compared to people of your age and gender. Over the years, I've actually gotten about 13 scans, which is a little bit over one per year. And I tend to have a scan either if it's been a while since my last scan, just to make sure that nothing major has changed, or in moments like right now, where I really want to get fitter and start maybe an exercise program, because what I love to do is to do it right before the program starts and then right at the end. And I find it so fascinating to see how an exercise program changes my overall body composition, because at least for me, what I find is oftentimes my weight doesn't really change that much at all. And so you would think, oh wow, like I've done all this work and nothing's changed. But the truth is that oftentimes exercise does actually make a really huge positive impact on your body. And through the DEXA scans, I can really see that impact. And I find it super motivating. Hopefully, I'm not gonna freak out when I see the results. And please be kind in the comments, because I haven't really moved in 6 months. Like, not even walks or things like that. Okay, I think I've yapped enough. Let's just get it over with. Opening up the report right now, and I'm sweating. I can already see here that things are worse in the sense that since last year, I've actually gained 2 pounds. That's fine. It looks like my body fat percentage has increased by 3%, which I guess is fair considering how little I've moved over the past 6 months. The one thing I'm not super happy about is that my body fat percentage is the highest it's ever been. That's not great. When it comes to lean mass, which is basically how much muscle you have in your body, apparently when compared to women my age, I'm at the bottom 19%. There's definitely room for improvement. But hey, looking at the bright side, it just means that there's plenty of room for an epic comeback and that it's time to dust off my workout clothes.
Right now it's 8 p.m. on a Monday, and I just recently got done with work and dinner, and now I'm gonna attempt the first exercise in the decluttering challenge. So wish me luck. I hope I'll survive. We'll find out. Let's get into it, I guess.
Done with the warm-up. Yay!
Smarter. I was the one to tag along. I remember how it started. To realize from miles apart, strange motions, like a shift in the flow.
It's day 2 of our life reset, and I'm so glad we're doing this. My house feels much more welcoming. My soul feels freshly laundered, and I even brewed myself a nice cup of tea. Hopefully you feel the same way. We're now in the right frame of mind to turn to the 3rd chapter, where we get to daydream and envision how we want the rest of the year to go. As part of this, we're going to be creating a vision board. And before you start rolling your eyes, I want to talk a little bit about why I personally find them to be super helpful. It's not that I believe in the law of attraction, but I do think there's something really powerful about getting clear on what your biggest goals are, giving them a physical shape by selecting pictures that represent them, and then placing them somewhere where you can see them daily. The reason I find vision boards to be so effective is that it's a powerful reminder of what your priorities are and the kind of life you want to create. We only have this one life, and it's so easy to get distracted by shiny objects, or waste time doom scrolling, or simply get discouraged when life throws curveballs our way. A vision board is that steady reminder to listen to your heart and keep running in the direction of your dreams. Even when progress is slow, when the trail narrows, and when the path ahead is so overgrown that it's hard to tell whether you're going in the right direction. Okay, I've been cheesy enough. Let's go make this vision board.
I know I let you down. Should never find my way. Wherever we end up, wherever we end up, I know we'll be alright.
Woohoo! We've made it to chapter 4, which is all about planning. I am so excited to get into this final chapter together because this is the chapter where we turn our plans into reality. I also got a new haircut just to highlight the fact that we're resetting our lives, we're starting fresh. I'm going to be using a digital planner called Notion because it's so customizable and aesthetic, and I love the idea of giving my dreams a cozy little home. It's also so satisfying to be able to look back on previous years and have everything all in one place so you can see just how much you've grown. This year, I'm trying so hard to focus my energy on what matters most, and a huge part of that is trying to recover from my perfectionistic tendencies. I suspect this will be a recurring theme on my channel. I mention this because usually I'm the type of person who would spend 10 plus hours crafting a Notion dashboard that is so perfectly symmetrical and meticulously arranged that even Wes Anderson would be proud. But this time, I resisted the temptation, and instead, we're gonna be adapting a wonderful template that was lovingly created by a YouTuber named Brielle Juliet. I'm going to link both my template and hers in the comments. Please go check out her channel and give her some love, especially if you like the template. Okay, before we start, let's just appreciate this spread for a second. I'm literally obsessed with how this turned out. And it gets me genuinely inspired to work on my goals, which is the best part. For the header of the goals section, I picked this picture from Unsplash that reads "Today" in Scrabble tiles because it perfectly encapsulates the whole vibe that I want to bring to the rest of the year. So anyways, that's why the header is so important to me. I hope that even on days when I feel tired or uninspired, it'll encourage me to still give myself the opportunity to sit down in front of the camera and hopefully make something beautiful. Now, let's get into the actual goal setting. I'm gonna get a bit nerdy, but please bear with me. I promise that it's worth it. One of the biggest shifts I wanna make this year is to take my personal goals as seriously as I do my job. In that spirit, I'm going to be borrowing a goal-setting framework that we use at work called OKRs, which stands for Objectives and Key Results, which sounds very formal and professional. Even just saying the word OKRs really makes me feel like things are getting serious here. You know what I mean? We're doing this. And honestly, that's the whole point. So the way it works is you start by choosing your objectives, which is the O in OKRs. When writing them, you should get clear on what's important to you and choose only a handful of objectives that are ambitious and inspiring. Something that helps you focus, but also helps you stretch a bit uncomfortably, because at the end of the day, that's where growth happens. When it comes to my objectives, I'm only going to be choosing 3. I think this will be super important to make sure that I don't take on too much and actually make progress on the things that really matter to me. First is YouTube. My biggest goal, which I'm a little bit scared to say out loud, would be to reach 1,000 subscribers this year. It's a little bit ambitious for sure, but at the same time, I don't think it's impossible, because sometimes all that it takes is just one video to do really well and then you're done. It would be such a dream come true if this were to happen. So if by any chance you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. It would really make my day. Okay, no more self-promo. Now that we have our first goal, let's write our key results. The most important thing about key results is that they should be in service of your objective. They should also be measurable so that when you monitor your progress, you should be able to confidently say whether you're on track or falling behind, which hopefully will not happen. In this case, since my objective is to reach 1,000 subscribers, all the key results underneath it are going to be actions I can take to get me closer to that goal. I think the first will be to post at least 6 videos by the end of the year. I noticed that posting videos is by far the best way to grow my channel, which is a bit unfortunate because I am rather slow, as you may or may not have noticed. The next KR is going to be to post a moving vlog or an apartment tour. The reason for that is that if you look at my channel, you will notice that the most popular video I've ever made was my apartment tour. I guess everyone wants to see inside a San Francisco apartment, but also seriously, it is a video that I'm super proud of, so definitely go check it out. That video is also the video that gave me the most subscribers. So, you know, it's a pretty good signal that I should make more of those videos, and I honestly really want to. It's just that I have so much footage to go through, so it feels a little bit overwhelming. But I will make this video, I promise. And that's exactly why I want to write it down in my KRs, just so that I keep it top of mind. Then I think I'll try to make at least 1 or 2 collabs, because working with other YouTubers is so much fun. And honestly, it's going to be a great incentive to make more videos. Last but not least, I want to create a production workflow and schedule that works for me. I think part of the reason that I've been so slow at making videos is that I still haven't figured out a workflow that truly works for me. Every time I make a video, I have a mini existential crisis because I don't have a good picture of how long everything's going to take or what steps to do in what order, which I think could sound strange if you don't have ADHD, but if you do have ADHD, you might relate to this. That uncertainty makes the whole process of creating videos a whole lot more overwhelming than it should be. If any of you are YouTubers and have figured out a workflow that works for you, please share your secrets in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Now, let's talk a little bit about health. As I mentioned, I've been working through some pretty scary health issues, and honestly, I don't even think I'm back to 100%. But I've been feeling a lot better, and I have so much more energy, which makes me really excited to get back into fitness again. With that in mind, my goals all revolve around getting stronger and hopefully improving some of those slightly embarrassing stats that we just looked at together. I think my objective will be get stronger and be able to lift 15 pounds comfortably. I know 15 pounds is not a lot, but it is a lot for me and my noodly arms. And everyone's gotta start somewhere, right? I also wanna get healthier, which is super hard to measure. But I think for me, it would mean going back to being 27% body fat, which is the percentage of body fat I hovered around for most of my life. So it feels like a good thing to aim for. I would also like to get my cardio fitness score up. This is something that's measured through my Fitbit, and it's definitely decreased quite a bit over the past couple of years. So I'd love to get it back up. Let's see, in terms of KRs, the biggest thing I want to try and do is to strength train at least 2 to 3 times per week. I feel like that should be reasonable because even if I get super busy, I should still have time to exercise at least 2 days per week, right? Maybe over the weekend. I also want to try to walk 10,000 steps per day. I love walking, so hopefully that's an easy one to check off the list. And then I want to do more cardio. Ideally, 150 plus minutes of cardio per week, which I believe is the amount of cardio that any American should be doing. And definitely not something that I'm currently doing, not yet at least. So yeah, that's it for health. I think I'm excited about it. The last goal is honestly the one that I'm the most nervous about, and it is to make space for creativity. I want to treat it like it's my favorite friend, the one that you would drive for 3 hours just to give him a hug. If I'm not careful, it's so easy for me to go for weeks or even months without doing anything creative at all. And then my soul dries like a shriveled raisin. So moving forward, it would be so awesome if I could actually build a schedule where I'm making art every single week. I think this goal is actually going to be really hard for me to achieve. So let's spend some time thinking about some good KRs for this. I think it would be great if I could work on YouTube videos at least 3 times per week. Right now, I really only work on videos once a week on Sundays, and it unfortunately is just not enough to make any kind of progress or really build momentum. And I feel like I just spend so much time just getting back into the zone that Sunday that I don't end up making anything meaningful really. So I really want to increase this number a bit. I think what I really need to do here is to just get a little bit out of my comfort zone and make time. Even if it's just me editing in my pajamas for 30 minutes before going to bed. The last KR is definitely a stretch goal, but I think it's good to be ambitious sometimes. And it's to work on my novel at least 1 to 2 times per week. For context, I've had this idea for a sci-fi/fantasy novel that I'm so excited to write. The characters feel so vivid in my mind that I almost feel like I know them. And I have some really juicy ideas for a romance and some plot twists that I hope no one will see coming. Even just talking about it, I'm getting so excited, and I haven't felt this excited about a novel for a very long time. I really want to figure out a way to make some progress on it. All I know is I don't want this to be yet another idea that remains in my head forever. So I really want to take the time to write it. Okay, so now it's time to put our plans into action. And what I'm going to show you is a technique that I love using called time blocking. What it is pretty simple. It's basically going through your calendar and blocking out specific times to do specific tasks. I find time blocking to be super helpful, not only because I have ADHD and tend to get distracted, and I don't have the most accurate perception of how long things take, but also because I can be a bit of a people pleaser at times. So my hope is that by blocking time to do things that really matter to me, I'll be able to better protect that time from the myriad other demands that life will throw at me. I just discovered that Notion lets you link your Google Calendar, so I'm gonna plan my day in Notion. But the cool thing is that everything I do in Notion is also going to be reflected in my Google Calendar, which is pretty cool. Let's get started planning our days. So first, I definitely want to block out Sunday to film, and in general, I want to spend as much time as I can filming on weekends. Personally, I find that it's so much easier for me to get into a creative flow if I have an unrestrained amount of time to create. So I'm gonna try to build the biggest chunks that I can in my schedule to work on YouTube for as long as I can, which I'm super excited about, by the way. Right now, I'm waking up at around 7 a.m. and it takes me about an hour to get ready. This month, I'm lucky because I'm on a reduced schedule. I only work a day Monday, a full day on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then I'm off on Friday. I really want to take advantage of this schedule while I still can because I'm going back to being full-time in the next couple of weeks. So I want to make sure that I use this time to work on YouTube as much as possible. So I think, let's see, I'm going to try to block out a little more time to work on YouTube. I'm going to try and spell out exactly what video I'm working on and what I'm doing, whether it's scripting or filming or editing. As someone who has ADHD, it really helps me to remove as much friction as possible from any task. So having something that says, hey Vale, you should be doing this at this time is super helpful for me to know exactly what I'm doing at any given time. Because this way, if I'm tempted to waste time by doom scrolling or going on Instagram, I can look at my calendar and it'll tell me, no, Vale, actually, you should be scripting this video or filming this video. That helps me get focused again. Then I can be like, yeah, calendar, thank you so much for reminding me of my goals. So I get to be outside, get some sunlight, and that actually gives me so much energy and just gives me that second win for the evening. Then from there, I want to try to do strength training. Because the cool thing about strength training is I don't find it to be overly exhausting. So even when my brain feels tired, I still have the energy to do it. And then I think it would be super nice if I could clean a little each evening. I don't know if any of you can relate, but during the week, I get so sucked into work that I almost forget that I have a physical body and that I exist in a physical space, which is quite sad, but unfortunately true. So anyways, by the time I get to the weekend, my place is a complete mess. So then I spend the whole weekend cleaning, which is not fun at all. So my hope is that if I can get myself to spend a little bit of time cleaning during the week, hopefully by the time we get to the weekend, the house will be so much cleaner already. And then I can actually spend the weekend relaxing and making videos and doing fun stuff. So yeah, that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? I wonder why I haven't always done this. Oh well, it's never too late to start, I guess. After that, I want to give myself a couple of hours to wind down and just relax. Play with the cats, watch a favorite show, read a book, and get ready to do it all over again the next day. In terms of working on YouTube, I want to get better at incorporating it during the week. So I think I'm going to try to spend at least 1 hour on YouTube on Tuesdays and maybe Wednesdays. I just want to get myself a little bit more used to working on YouTube in smaller chunks of time. Even if it's in less than ideal conditions, late at night, in my pajamas, whatever it is, just to see what happens. Worst case, if whatever I create is horrible, I can try again the next day. But if it works, then it would really help me make even more videos. So I just want to give it a try. On Saturdays, usually I try to purely have fun and spend time with friends and loved ones. But for the next 2 weekends, I'm actually home alone. It's pretty rare. And I really want to spend more time making videos. So I think I'll try to block out more time to do that. Okay, so the sun is setting, but I think we're done, which is so exciting. This schedule is definitely ambitious, and I doubt that things will go exactly as planned. But honestly, that's okay. I'll just see how this week goes, and then from there we can readjust and turn it into something more realistic. Which, by the way, is something that we do at Google as well, and that we call piloting and iterating, which honestly makes it sound so much fancier. So that's what we're gonna do here as well. And then from there, I just genuinely hope that every week is a little bit better than the last, and that I get into a really good groove so that creativity is flowing as easily as possible. So yeah, that's the plan. I hope this video was helpful and that it inspires you to make 2025 your best and fullest year yet. If you stayed until the end, you were the best and I need to know, so leave me the bicep emoji in the comments. Okidoki, siamo arrivati alla fine del video. I will see you in the next one, which hopefully, if all works out, is going to be much sooner than usual. Thank you so much for watching. A prestissimo, ciao!